Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot, and welcome to my very own drama alert. How very exciting. It's been a long time since I've had to address YouTube drama, probably about 6 years ago. We'll talk about that at the end. I want to apologise for a couple of things, and I want to defend myself on a couple of things. I'm just going to kind of lay everything out on the table, the whole situation, and we can hopefully put this to bed and never have to talk about this kind of nonsense ever again, because it's YouTube drama at the end of the day. Drama, inverted commas, but still, we'll get onto that. Right, so the situation, I'm going to explain what happened. A couple of days ago, I did a video, since taken down, and I'll explain why, on the Jurassic World Evolution leaks on 4chan, and kind of explained a little bit why I didn't cover those as in-depth as I maybe could have, or as in-depth as some other people did. And then that kind of became this big, long rant about integrity on YouTube and stuff like that. And the first thing I want to say is the rant was stupid. I've had a lot of really nice comments from you guys, so I kind of feel bad taking the video down or even saying this at all. A lot of you were really sweet about it. Yeah, I got some messages on Twitter from prominent people in the Jurassic Park community thanking me for the video and stuff like that, and it was just really nice to see. However, the next morning, watching it back, it definitely came across as more conceited and self-aggrandizing than it was ever meant to. I definitely held myself up as some bastion of integrity, which wasn't really the intention, but I can see, you know, that's definitely how it came across, and that's how I felt watching it. So, God knows how other people felt. And that's not true. It's just not. You know, I do try to put more emphasis on that than every channel in the world. You know, let's not pretend otherwise. Some people do lean heavier in that direction. Please don't think I'm calling anyone out here. We'll talk about that in a second. You know, I'm not talking about Jurassic World Evolution here. I'm talking about Fortnite or COD and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, YouTube is a hard business. It's hard to grow. It's hard to sustain. It's hard to get anywhere. It's hard to make a living off for 99.9999999% of people. So if you can make more money and actually survive and make a living by clickbaiting a little harder, then I don't really blame people for that. I do think that's not the direction I go in, but I also don't think it's... I think it's unnecessary in part because of YouTube's algorithms and stuff like that. Anyways, getting off track. The main problem with the video though is it felt like I was calling out a specific YouTuber called Swerve who does Jurassic World Evolution News, if you haven't heard of him before. Now, I can see why. I can honestly say it wasn't my intention, but if I was watching the video as a complete neutral, if I was watching a video as not someone in the community or whatever, that is absolutely how I would interpret it. That's absolutely what I would have seen. So even if that wasn't my intention, it doesn't really matter because that's how it came across, right? And as a result of my video, Swerve got a lot of negative comments on the video, maybe some comments on his channel, I don't know about that for sure, but at least lots of negative comments on the video that I uploaded. And I can only apologise for that. I've already sent him a message apologising. We have talked several times since the video, even a couple of days ago when it first went up, because I wanted to reassure him it wasn't about him. And sorry, Swerve, I'm going to publicise our comments a little bit. I said I do think you could be a bit more stringent in your approach. I said that to him, but also I know how hard it is to grow as a small channel. And this was days ago. This was literally before any of this bloody drama really started. So we kind of cleared the air and we kind of sorted things out. And that's kind of where it ended, as far as I was concerned. We were both okay with each other, and I was probably going to take the video down because at the end of the day, no matter what I meant, my comments were causing someone else to be targeted and briganded, and that's never fair, that's never right, that should never be the case. And that was my fault. It really was. So the video went down. And then yesterday, James, Gaming Beaver, uploaded a video, basically, if we're honest, calling me out a little bit. Partly on the aggrandizing integrity stuff, which is absolutely fair enough. And then a little bit, his reasoning for doing this video in the first place was because 4 to 5 years ago now, in 2016, I want to say? No, 2015, when Jurassic World first came out, and Jurassic World the game first came out, my channel was growing really well because of Jurassic World the game, and then I went away to Costa Rica, like backpacking for like 3 months or something, which was a very stupid thing to do. I had an incredible time, but in terms of content for the channel, it was a dreadful idea. Absolutely a dreadful idea. Really stupid on my part, and it really hampered, I do feel, honestly, it did a lot to hamper the growth of my channel. I think if I'd stayed around and worked, I'd be in a much better position, or at least would have been that year. However, and we're going to get very honest here, at that time, I was a bigger channel than Gaming Beaver, right? And obviously he's blown up since then, 2-point-something million subscribers, done very well for himself. Jurassic World the game really was the point his channel started to explode, take hold, and in no time at all really had surpassed me on the back of Jurassic World the game. I think he would admit as well it was on the back of that game, right? That's fair enough. Not that there's not plenty of other stuff since then, but I think that was the big starter game. Like Skyrim was the big starter game for me back in the day. Everyone's got that game that they latch onto initially and kind of ride and then grow from there. That's the way it is. For me now, that's Jurassic World Evolution since last year. So, real honesty time. I really struggle with hits to my ego, right? I realise everyone does, but it's my biggest personality flaw, I'll say that much. My outlook on life and the way I view myself and, the channel or success in anything basically is so intrinsically tied to my egotism and how I feel about myself. My outlook on myself basically determines my entire world outlook. It's very self-centered and very egotist, I will admit that, but I'm also very aware of it as a character flaw. And when I take hits to that ego, I don't handle it that well. I've got a lot better at it, I will say. I'm here admitting all this nonsense where I am on YouTube. But when I take hits to that ego, it hits me really hard. And at least a few years ago, I would probably lash out a little bit. So I did a video when I was off in Costa Rica. Was I in Costa Rica? I think I was in Nicaragua at the time. Anyways, I did a video and I suggested that other YouTuber, i.e. Gaming Beaver, had succeeded where I hadn't because he gamed the system or something like that, and played the system well and grown his channel. And I sent him a message apologising today. Probably need to send a better one actually now that I think about it, but I can only apologise for that again. That was out of line, completely unnecessary, and it was untrue. At the end of the day, I really like James as a person. We met last year, we got on really well. We did the JPOG playthrough thing, the competition that you guys really, really enjoyed. And I really don't want... I don't know if there's a problem between us, I really don't. But from my perspective, he's a really nice guy. And despite this call-out video, I have no problems with him, and hopefully we can kind of move on from this. But I did call him out 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, in a really stupidly subtle, semi-subtle jab, and it was unnecessary. And it was my own ego and my own problems with my own personality lashing out a little bit, and it is something I've got a much better handle on with age. But I wasn't a kid, I wasn't 12 or anything, I wasn't 16, I was 24 4 years ago, so at the end of the day I have no real excuse. All I can do is apologise, say that I'm very aware of it as a problem, and Beaver, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, I really do apologise, because it was unnecessary and unfair more than anything else. Because at the end of the day, wherever you lie, whether you're a fan of Beaver or you're not, which I know a lot of you are, I know some of you aren't, that's fair enough. Not everyone's going to like every YouTuber, but he does work very, very hard on his content. His content is very, very well produced, and for me to try to take that away and to blame other things or to say it's something else is completely unjust. So there's that. I will say, on the other hand, just temporarily, that was over 4 years ago, and I think using that as a reason to make a video on a topic which he wasn't really involved in, if we're honest, did feel a little unfair to me. In his defence, he did say don't go brigand BestInSlot over this, but I think as YouTubers we all know that doesn't work, that doesn't achieve anything. You can say don't go brigand this person, but people do, and I've already had negative comments today from my own subscribers who now think of me completely differently, and comments on the subreddit and stuff, people trashing me, or comments on Discord, people trashing me, and I accept some responsibility for what I've done. I've definitely had a couple of moments where I've not behaved well, but I would point out these are 2 moments in 4 years, and to bring up something from 4 years ago that has led to me getting that kind of comment when it could have been dealt with privately feels a little unfair to me. I will say that's about my only problem with the whole situation. I don't think it was necessary. Now, of course, I'm here doing this publicly as well, but at the end of the day, I've been publicly called out. I feel the need to address it a little bit. I'm really hoping we can kind of put this to bed now. I don't like this kind of thing. I don't want to be involved in this kind of thing. It's unnecessary. It's YouTube. It's not that serious. I made it more serious with my video, and then it spiraled from there into something that it never had to be. I was planning to sleep today. It's Friday. I was going to take today off. Well, here I am ranting on YouTube about drama. I don't know. I don't want anyone to get angry at anyone else. I'm not trying to call anyone out here. People sometimes... Nobody acts perfectly 100% of the time. Swerve has probably done some things he regrets. I'm openly admitting I've done some things I regret. maybe Beaver will regret taking this public in the way it was in admittedly another very well produced video. I don't know. I hope people do, because this is unnecessary and a little daft, and it could have been left alone and it could have been dealt with privately and it would have been fine. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who seemingly made it public first, so I have to take the responsibility for that, and I am sorry for everything. I've already apologised for in this video. Hopefully people think I'm telling the truth and believe me, and hopefully like 90% of you don't suddenly think I'm an absolute dickhead, because I promise you I'm not. I promise you I'm a nice guy. It's just apparently not coming across that way. I'm just kind of sad, to be honest, guys, that I have to do this. I think a few years ago I would have reacted angrily to this, and now it's more just sadness. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Please, like, I know I've said don't brigand, and I don't think anyone will, because I'm not trying to say anything negative about any other channel. It's not necessary. Briganding other people or insulting other YouTubers achieves nothing. People have a habit, I think, of forgetting that there's a person behind the YouTube channel. It's very easy to forget that sometimes, and they think they can just go say whatever they want. It's anonymous on the internet. Anyways, hopefully this is over now. Hopefully, God, I hope this is over now. I apologise again, and hopefully you guys still like me, and yeah, I don't know. Anyways, thank you for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow. I apologise, the Walking with Dinosaurs thing was not uploaded last week. It's been a very busy... I don't really want to go into it, but I had a death in the family about a week and a half ago. I did post it on Twitter and took it down for my own personal reasons, but somebody died, and I'm kind of in charge of everything like around there. And there's some other family drama I don't want to go into. It's been a very, very difficult couple of weeks for me. I'm not trying to get sympathy here. I'm trying to explain why sometimes content may be a bit late, and yeah, maybe I lashed out because of it a little bit more than I should have. I've been in a bit of a rough spot, but things are looking better, and hopefully this is over now and we can move on. That would be nice. Thank you for joining me. Cheers much love as always. Bye bye.